This is what corrupt administrations do.
Media interviews often follow a predictable rhythm until a single unexpected question shifts the entire tone. That's exactly what happened during Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez appearance on NPR, where a subtle change in direction caught many listeners off guard.
Do you think other Democrats are watching their words?
I think it's certainly possible, but I'm not sure. I mean, I cannot think of or point to any individuals who have said that. I do think that there are Democratic members of Congress who are preparing for that possibility.
How do they prepare?
I think they look to the possibility of litigation. I think they're saying, do we have the best teams possible in order to carry out our work?
Some Republican, or many perhaps, will be watching this, listening to this, and thinking, wait a minute, actually, you're the ones who are prosecuting us. You are the guys who are weaponizing the Justice Department. How would you respond to somebody who may be thinking that?
Instead of the usual friendly framing, the discussion gradually became more pointed. What began as a routine political conversation evolved into a more probing exchange that revisited familiar arguments, this time with added scrutiny. The interview opened with a general question about how Democrats reflected on the previous administration, a topic she has discussed many times before.
If you or your fellow Democrats are at all feeling intimidated or silenced or anything.
I'm not. I think it's important to call this administration's bluff. I think that this is what authoritarians do. I think this is what kleptocracies do. I believe that this is what corrupt administrations do. They rely on the illusion of power, on the suggestion of coercion in order to try to get people to comply in advance. And I think that one of our largest responsibilities is to not comply in advance. If they want to do these things, they can go ahead and do them and let the American people see.
Initially, the setup seemed perfect for her well-known themes about protecting democratic institutions and maintaining ethical leadership. She spoke about the risks of power being overly concentrated, the need for transparency, and the responsibility leaders have to uphold public confidence. These ideas are consistent with her public messaging. The dynamic shifted, however, when the interviewer asked whether actions taken by members of her own party may have contributed to public perceptions that legal systems are sometimes influenced by political motivations.
Some Republican, or many perhaps, will be watching this, listening to this, and thinking, wait a minute, actually, you're the ones who are prosecuting us. You are the guys who are weaponizing the Justice Department. How would you respond to somebody who may be thinking that?
In what way? In what way? Is the very presence
Putting
of
Trump on trial would be their example, I suppose.
Yes, I mean, here's the deal. In the United States, there is a jury where we are judged by our peers, and he was found guilty in court on 34 felony charges. If people want to say it was weaponized, I mean, it is hard-pressed to say that there's a partisan argument.
The question was asked calmly, yet it carried significant implications. Her brief pause suggested she hadn't anticipated it. Given the interviewer's reputation for thoughtful and even-handed discussions, the moment stood out. She responded by focusing on a specific, widely known legal case, presenting it as the central example. Some observers noted that broader concerns involve years of investigations and oversight efforts justified as accountability measures. The exchange raised a larger issue. If legal systems are meant to foster trust, consistency and fairness should apply across the board. While her response addressed part of the concern, it left space for further discussion. The interview then shifted to immigration, another topic that consistently draws strong opinions.
And is immigration, as an issue, part of your problem with working-class voters?
I mean, I guess my question would be, what does the word problem mean?
People voting for the other side and not for you.
Yeah.
Feeling that Democrats are not serious about the issue in ways that concern them.
I think that we have a problem on immigration because of the lack of progress that we've had on this issue. And as we know, Republicans weaponize that lack of progress. Of course, there was famously a bipartisan bill last year that Republican majority in the Senate and also in the House were willing to pass. President Biden was willing to work with them on it. And Donald Trump said, do not solve this problem.
When asked whether her party's immigration policies may be contributing to frustration among working-class voters, she first asked for clarification on what was meant by problem. The host explained that many people feel their concerns are being overlooked. Rather than directly addressing that perception, she redirected the conversation toward Republican resistance and referenced a bipartisan bill that failed to advance.
Problem not just for Democrats, it's a problem for the entire country that Republicans do not want to solve any sort of issue with immigration. They are completely uninterested in addressing undocumented people, in addressing a path to citizenship.
Well, they do want to address undocumented people by removing them. I mean, that's what the president is. Do you think this issue did seem to be a political loser for Democrats among key groups and key constituencies, if what you say is true?
I think that a lack of a path to citizenship in the United States, the lack of addressing comprehensive immigration reform creates a large population of undocumented people in the United States. And that is allowed to be weaponized in many ways. We have a large population of undocumented people in the United States. Overwhelmingly, it is not because they crossed the southern border of the United States. It's because they came here in a documented fashion and overstayed a visa and became undocumented. And it is the lack of ability for us to expand paths to citizenship, modernize paths to citizenship over decades that create this.
Even accepting that explanation, it didn't fully clarify why border-related concerns intensified during a period when her party held considerable governing power. Communities nationwide, including areas that often support Democratic candidates, have raised concerns about strained public resources, housing challenges, and local budgets. Leaders from major cities echoed these worries, calling for clearer federal coordination and policy structure. Despite this widespread feedback, the response remained focused on outside obstacles rather than acknowledging the full scope of the issue. When the interviewer mentioned that previous administrations had implemented specific border measures, her visible surprise added another dimension to the exchange.
Republicans are allowed to weaponize.
And you have voters in places like Arizona, which is a swing state that Democrats lost, or Colorado, which is generally a blue state, saying there's a lot of chaos, there's a lot of lawlessness.
Yes.
I don't know what to do here. Who's looking out after me?
And I think when that is paired with divestment from the social safety net, when that is paired with lack of progress on minimum wage, when that is paired with rising costs of living, it sets the stage for a strongman to point to any marginalized group and say it's their fault.
The comment was presented neutrally, without praise or criticism, yet it highlighted differences in policy approaches. Many voters respond positively to clear and enforceable rules because they provide a sense of order, and that contrast became more noticeable as the conversation continued. Later, the discussion turned to the claim that there is effectively no pathway to citizenship, a statement that puzzled viewers familiar with existing legal processes.
I was upset, I suppose, because he felt that you were giving advice to people who are here illegally.
Mm-hmm.
Were you?
I was giving advice to all of my constituents. Yeah.
He said he was going to report you, or even that he did reach out to the Department of Justice. Have you heard from the Department of Justice?
I have not, and I intend on reaching out to the Department of Justice to inquire.
Really? What would your question be for the Department of Justice?
Well, there is a member of the Trump administration who is threatening and seeks to open an inquiry, and are you going to do it?
What would you learn? What do you hope to learn from that exchange?
I think it's important to know where this administration stands and if they intend on using political intimidation to silence their critics.
While reforms may be necessary, millions of people have successfully navigated current immigration systems, including individuals who arrived with limited resources or through humanitarian pathways. Acknowledging shortcomings is reasonable, but dismissing the system's existence altogether can weaken credibility with audiences who understand it firsthand. As the interview progressed, it demonstrated how challenging it can be for public figures to maintain consistent messaging when faced with detailed follow-up questions.
A real risk of lawmakers being investigated, charged, arrested?
Potentially. I mean, we see that this administration is certainly wielding that threat, and we will have to see if they intend on carrying out their threats. If they are to be believed for what they are publicly suggesting, then the answer would be yes. But we will only find out if we call their bluff.
Do you think other Democrats are watching their words?
I think it's certainly possible, but I'm not sure. I mean, I cannot think of or point to any individuals who have said that. I do think that there are Democratic members of Congress who are preparing for that possibility.
They prepare.
I think they look to the possibility of litigation. I think they're saying, do we have the best teams possible in order to...
At one point, she noted that she provides guidance to all constituents, which would naturally include individuals without legal status. The interviewer highlighted the apparent contradiction, and her suggestion that she would later consult the Justice Department sounded more like an attempt to clarify than a definitive answer. Near the end, the discussion returned to the possibility of future investigations involving elected officials. She suggested such inquiries could occur under the current administration, raising a broader question. If accountability truly matters, should it depend on which party holds power? Many believe transparency should apply equally, regardless of leadership. Over the years, President Trump and those close to him faced numerous investigations described as necessary oversight. If that principle holds, consistency should follow in all cases. What made this interview stand out wasn't one specific response, but the overall pattern. A journalist known for balanced questioning sought clarity and received answers that sometimes lacked the confidence audiences are accustomed to seeing. The gap between prepared talking points and detailed explanations became increasingly clear. More broadly, the conversation reflected a subtle shift in political journalism, as audiences call for fair questions, thoughtful follow-ups, and deeper examination. It served as a reminder that effective communication requires more than memorable phrases. It demands clarity, consistency, and a willingness to address difficult questions directly. For more content like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Your support helps the videos reach more viewers, and I'll see you in the next one.